Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United consult Erik Ten Hag on Pau Torres transfer. Man United open talks to sign Villarreal's Pau Torres. Pau Torres wants to join Manchester United despite Tottenham matching €50 million bid. Recently, Pau Torres agents flew to Manchester over transfer talks. Manchester United are willing to pay €43 million for Pau Torres. Pau Torres is a centre-half. He's at Villarreal. He's been at Villarreal for around 2 decades. So reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. You know, he came up Villarreal's academy. He's under contract with Villarreal until 2024. At one point, he had a loan spell with Malaga. So that's more news on Pau Torres. Earlier on today, I gave you the news on Darwin Núñez. Fabrizio Romano said that Darwin Núñez will 100% leave Benfica this summer. Darwin Núñez has got a contract with Benfica until 2025. He's been at Benfica since 2020. Benfica paid a record fee of $20 million for Darwin Núñez. Benfica got him from Almeria. There's a lot of players that Erik Ten Hag wants to recommend to the club. He also wants to bring Anthony in. He wants Urian Timber. He said Man United is set to sign Urian Timber. You know, he could be the first signing of the Erik Ten Hag era. Man United have also been heavily linked with Frenkie de Jong from Barcelona. I'm hearing now that Frenkie de Jong is going to stay at Barcelona for next season. We've been heavily linked with Declan Rice from West Ham. We've been tentatively linked with Ousmane Dembele. Erik Ten Hag 100% wants to sign a striker. Erik Ten Hag's transfer budget has already been revealed. Ten Hag is going to get rid of a lot of players this summer. He said 10 players are set to leave Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag is officially Manchester United's new manager. Erik Ten Hag replaced Ralf Rangnick. Not so long ago, Ten Hag had his first interview as the Manchester United manager. The Erik Ten Hag era has officially begun. Revert back to the other month, it got officially announced that Man United appointed Erik Ten Hag as their new manager. You know, Ten Hag signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further year. Michel van der Gaag and Steve McLaren have joined Erik Ten Hag at Manchester United. Ten Hag attended Manchester United's final game against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. You know, he is Man United's 5th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. It's good that he's coming to experience the Premier League. Hopefully at Man United he can replicate what he did at Ajax. You've got to admire the work he done at Ajax. You know, Ten Hag was the Ajax manager for around 5 years. And at Ajax, he developed the young players well. He won Eredivisie titles. He won some Dutch Cups. And revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. So there you go. As for Ralf Rangnick, he was Man United's interim manager for around 4 or 5 months. Earlier on this year, it got officially announced that Ralf Rangnick got appointed in as the new manager of Austria. Ralf Rangnick signed a 2-year deal. But despite that, it said that Rangnick would continue at Man United in a consultancy role until 2024. Ralf Rangnick did endure one transfer window as Man United's interim manager. Unfortunately, he didn't get backed in the January transfer window this year. Revert back to earlier on in the year, Rangnick did make changes because he recommended Sas Chalenzin as a sports psychologist, he recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. And before, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Not so long ago, Manchester United lost to Crystal Palace 1-0 at Selhurst Park. Man United endured their worst ever Premier League season in terms of points. Man United finished on just 58 points. Man United finished 6th place. Despite the loss to Palace, Man United is still in the Europa League for next season. By the way, Man United will be playing Atletico Madrid in pre-season. That's been confirmed. We've also got Liverpool to play. I think it's June or July. As things stand, Manchester United have not won a trophy for around 5 years. Nowhere near good enough to our standards. Man United have only won 4 trophies in the last 10 years. Man United won 3 trophies under Jose Mourinho. That was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. If you want to put that into the equation, and Man United won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013, so that's almost 10 years ago now. I do think Man United are at least 3 or 4 years off winning another title. In the last 10 years, Man United have spent over £1 billion. And we've brought 40 odd players in since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And let me put into the equation that, Ten Hag, is going to be inheriting players that other managers have brought in. Obviously Rangnick, he was inheriting, players who other managers brought in. None of this squad was Rangnick's. Like I say, we've got to get the Glazers out of the football club because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. A lot of United fans have been protesting against the Glazers recently, and the protesting will persist until the Glazers are out of the club. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years. They bought the club for around 500 million back in 2005. And earlier on this year, Matt Judge resigned. So reflecting on that, he said he won't play a role in the summer transfer window. Matt Judge was at Man United for around 8 years. And earlier on this year, Woodward left the club. Woodward was Man United's chairman for around, 17 years. There's still talks that Old Trafford is going to get demolished. Should Man United build a new stadium? Man United have played in the same stadium for 112 years. Now, like I say, a lot of players are going to be leaving Manchester United. A lot players will leave this summer, like I said earlier. Players will also leave next year. We've got a lot of players' contracts that do expire next year. But this summer, I can see Dean Henderson leaving. Dean Henderson is wanted by Newcastle. Henderson's our second choice keeper. You know, season just gone, he only made 3 appearances. I can see Tom Eaton leaving this year. You know, Tom Eaton is a backup keeper. He's our third choice keeper. Man United got Tom Eaton on a free transfer from Aston Villa in the summer of last year. I can see Torres leaving this year. Torres has been poor for the last few months. Torres appeared to be our first choice left back under Rangnick, but that's only because Luke Shaw has had injuries and he's out injured at the moment. I can see Jones and Baye leaving. Not so long ago, Jones and Baye told their teammates that they intend on leaving the club. Jones and Baye are backup centre halves. You know, they don't really get in the team. I can see Maguire leaving the club as well. We need to get rid of Maguire because he's not good enough. I can see Wan-Bissaka leaving as well this year. It said prior to the Palace game that Wan-Bissaka will be allowed to leave Man United this summer. I heard that he could be going back to Palace. Wan-Bissaka was not our first choice right back under Rangnick. Diego Dalot was. Matic, he's definitely leaving this year. Earlier on this year, Matic announced he will be leaving Manchester United, despite having like 12 months on his contract. I can see Pogba as well leaving this year. Pogba's out of contract very soon. Pogba missed the game against Palace because he's out with injury. Lingard should be leaving this year. Juan Mata should also be leaving. We should be getting rid of Martial permanently. You know, the season just gone. Martial was out on loan with Sevilla. Cavani, I think he's already left, but I'm not too sure where he's going to be going. I presume he'll be going to Spain. Being heavily linked to a move to Spain. So there you go. And, you know, next year, Luke Shaw could go if he doesn't pick up form and he keeps getting injuries. I think Lindelof could be going next year. I don't think he'll leave this year. Lindelof's not one of our first choice centre halves, obviously with the signing of Varane in the summer of last year. I can see Dalot going next year. I don't think he'll leave this year. I think he'll leave next year. Ronaldo, I think there's a good chance he'll leave next year. He'll stay for this year because he'll want to play under Ten Hag. Ronaldo's already said he wants to stay, and Erik Ten Hag wants Cristiano Ronaldo to stay. Don't forget, Ronaldo missed the final game against Palace at Selhurst Park because of a hip injury. Fred could leave next year as well because he's not good enough. Rashford, you know, he could possibly leave next year. I don't think he'll leave this year because recently he said Marcus Rashford wants to stay at Manchester United. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop me comments, like, support on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.